Hello, folks. Yeah, I found this. Well, not exactly found it since I've been seeing a lot of tweets to me about it. StarCraft 2, the visual novel. This is all we want in an expansion, right? Like, fuck balancing shit, fuck everything, just visual novel. So from what I've heard, this is a visual novel about esports, but primarily about StarCraft. And myself, don't tell anybody, but I've never played StarCraft. And as an Asian, I'm pretty sure many fellow Asians right now are sharpening their pitchforks and lighting their torches. But it's okay, I will redeem myself by playing the visual novel. Oh look! Great. The game itself tells me. Thanks. If you're new to esports or StarCraft, you can watch a short voice-acted scene that will introduce you to the professional StarCraft. Or you can watch a scene later in Extras menu and get right to the action. You know what? I want to learn about StarCraft. I've actually listened to TB, Total Biscuit, do a bunch of casting for it, and I've always found it very interesting, but I could never. The competitive aspect of StarCraft scares the living shit out of me. I play CSGO, and I play a lot of comp in there, and I can deal with that because I have control over it. StarCraft 2 is on a whole fucking other level, alright? So, yes, tell me about StarCraft.
Hey, Timmy, long time no see. How's it going?
Oh, hey, Day 9. Not too good.
Oh, why so glum, dude? What's up?
Well, I want to play this super neat new game. It's called SC2VN. But I don't know that much about StarCraft. I'm afraid a bunch of stuff is just gonna go over my head.
Oh, don't get down on yourself, Timmy. How about I help you out on some background info? That way you won't feel so lost.
Goddamn, this voice acting is top fucking notch.
Wow, really? Thanks, Day 9. You're the best.
And I'm not saying that sarcastically. This is legitimately amazing.
No problem, Timmy. So, what would you like to know?
Okay, well, what were the earliest days of StarCraft like in Korea?
Oh, you mean the days when players dressed up in spacesuits and played in tiny studios with fog machines?
Oh, that sounds so cool.
Okay, hold on. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Don't you need me to tell you what StarCraft actually is?
Please, Day 9, I'm not that bad. What kind of person downloads visual novels about StarCraft without knowing that it's a popular real-time strategy game made by Blizzard?
You guys can't see this, but I'm slowly raising my hand.
Well, Timmy, in the off chance that this is a recording designed for complete newbies to eavesdrop upon, how about I go over a few basics?
Ugh, fine.
Like you said, Timmy, StarCraft is a highly competitive game. Rather than the black and white of chess pieces, players choose between 3 different races, each with its own advantages and playstyles. The powerful, enigmatic Protoss, the scrappy, efficient Terran, or the swarmy, insect-like Zerg. For 15 years, StarCraft has been played professionally in South Korea.
Wow, really? You mean people can play video games for a living?
Yes, Timmy. Yes, they can.
That's right, Timmy. Corporate sponsors fund teams for millions of dollars, just like any other sport. And the players compete on televised tournaments for cash prizes in events known as Star Leagues. Esports is the real deal.
And people actually tune into the tournaments? They watch StarCraft on TV? I can't believe it.
Believe it, Timmy. Those television broadcasts help expose StarCraft to non-gamers, and fans began to follow esports not only because they played the game themselves, but because they could get invested in the players, personalities, rivalries, the storylines.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. So, Esports became popular in Korea in the early 2000s. What was happening everywhere else in the world?
Well, StarCraft was certainly successful in the West, with a ton of great competitors existing from all over the world. But StarCraft didn't really catch on as a televised esport anywhere else. So as a result, the Korean players, with their professional training and their televised tournaments, were head and shoulders above everyone else.
Well, okay, the Koreans were better in StarCraft 1, but wasn't everyone on an even playing field when StarCraft 2 came out?
Well, at first, yeah, but you have to remember that Korea already had an infrastructure for televised esports. They simply rolled that same regimented practice schedule over to StarCraft 2. And even though everyone started the same quickly, Korea left the rest of the world in the dust. Only a handful of non-Korean players have ever been able to put up a challenge. Nothing really compares to the Korean team house.
What's a team house?
Come on, Tim, you can figure this one out. A for effort, Timmy. It's pretty much what it sounds like. A team house is both living quarters and a practice environment. Coaches and managers add structure to a daily schedule, they match you up against practice partners in a way that's more productive to you, and because everyone lives together, they're talking strategy all the time. It's pretty much unanimously agreed upon that Korea is the place to be to get better at StarCraft. As a result, Western pros head abroad to train or boot camp pretty regularly.
Wow, I feel so enlightened. All of this knowledge.
Thrilled to be of service, Timmy. Anything else I can assist with?
Yeah, I think that covers everything, Mr. 9. Now I can read SC2VN without Googling every 5 minutes. Thanks for helping me out. I super duper appreciate it.
Totally.
Anyways, I'll see you later. Thanks again.
Good luck, Timmy, and try not to get the bad ending.
What? There's a bad ending? Wait, what? The choice will mostly impact how he or she appears. The story differences are minor. Listen. Let me tell you this. The main character... I didn't read it, but I believe the main character's the coach. Which means we're going for the chick. I'm telling you this. Chick coaches will get your ass in shape faster than you can say. Well, pretty much anything. Begin the story as a female main character? Damn straight, yes. There's a certain feeling that every StarCraft player gets before they lose. Most try to ignore it at first, as if the inevitable is just another challenge to fight through. Like their past mistakes don't count if they just try a little bit harder. It's a natural thing. To believe otherwise contradicts the hours we spent practicing. Still, every player must eventually come to terms with defeat. That they have to queue up for another game. Or maybe that they flew across the world for nothing. I haven't met many players that can take a loss in stride. It's painful. It's permanent. It's proof that your best isn't always enough. Long after my elimination, I remained at the PC with a blank look in my eye. Clicks shoot from my fingers as I leapt from page to page. A tournament update mentioned my defeat in passing. No one acknowledges it. When my frustration fades, I'm left only with guilt. I should have practiced harder. Considered sticking around to watch the final few games, but the knot in my stomach persuades me to avoid any more stress. People are nice enough to a foreigner with the heart to attempt a Star League qualifier. Without a win, I'm just one more in a long line of losers. Hundreds spend their best years chasing the esports dream. 1 in 50 makes it. This is for those that don't. Every game of StarCraft begins the same. Gather resources, train a worker, construct a building, rally an army, defend a base, contest the map. Turn something small into something more. This game is punishing, it's stressful, it's draining. It builds you up and tears you down. It's not for everyone. It might not even be for me. How many more chances am I going to get? Was that my last? Oh, the feeling's back. Why am I even trying? Why can't I quit? My fists rattle the desk and sends a plastic bottle onto the floor. With my chin in my hand, I throw myself into match replay. I force down a measured breath. Losing a throwaway ladder game shouldn't bother a player of my rank. Scout denial and my poor control of the final fight gave my opponent the edge. In retrospect, my mistakes seem obvious. I tore at the conclusion that he was hacking before realizing that I'm just making excuses. Oh, I should have been able to win that one. Despite the Grandmaster badge next to my handle, I found myself too anxious to queue up for another game. The loss at the Victory Star League qualifier earlier today isn't helping my mindset. I comb my tiny room with a look, restless and unmotivated. Sitting alone in a dark room for extended periods of time is incredibly depressing. A fact I learned only when it became a significant part of my life. Only one thing is certain. I've got to get out of here. After double checking that my apartment door is locked, I hustle down the stairs and onto the sidewalk. Light grows with each step towards the shining skyline. You know, I'm really freaking digging the art in this game, and it's a free game. Catchy pop beats and posters of flawless models dominate street after street. Foot traffic is thick and impatient. Seoul Tower stands tall from a distant hilltop. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. I'm sadly not Korean. But even the lingering excitement of life in a faraway place can't dredge me out of this hopelessness. Sometimes, especially on days like this, I regret pursuing esports. It's a thought that I've had more times than I care to admit since coming to South Korea. Even saying that, I know that I can't keep myself from competing. It's in my nature. And truth be told, this damn game is the only thing I'm good at. What is StarCraft? Some respond to that with an explanation on its game mechanics or its storyline. There are other popular answers too, that it requires the dexterity of a pianist alongside the strategic thinking of a chess player. Maybe that's what StarCraft is to most people. But to the hundreds who carve out a living on it, StarCraft isn't such a simple thing. It's the embodiment of competition. A perfect playing field. No need for athletic genes, rabid parents, tutting tutors, or expensive summer camps. Although that last part's kind of questionable. There are gaming camps. You pick up the game on your own. You learn, you improve, you work. If you're good enough, you can become a god. And if you fail, you stay a nobody. I'm not building towards a long-term career. I'm friendless in a foreign country. I'm respected by no one. If I don't qualify for VSL next month, I'll be back home at square one. I'll be nothing. But hey, at least I play video games all day. Are you completely sure you haven't forgotten anything? That took me way longer than it should to read that. This is a flashback to America. Do you have enough money for the cab when you land? Are you sure that the apartment got your money? Is your cell phone charged? You brought an extra charger, right? Mom, I'm fine. Please, nothing bad is gonna happen. Remember, there won't be anyone to do your laundry, cook your meals, or wake you up when you oversleep. Budget well, and you'll have 2 months. I won't hear anything about a loan for the flight home. It takes an effort to keep a frown from my face. I'm certain that my parents came to see me off only so that they could say they did. Oh god, I'm having trouble reading shit. I am so sorry. I will step up my professionalism as this girl has. Cause, damn, making a living off of esports is tough business, man. I've already sunk the entirety of my savings into this. Now isn't the time for second thoughts. My dad gestures towards the security line and taps his watch twice. Go on. The sooner this is over with, the better. Oh, come back in one piece, hon. Nothing comes when I think of how to respond, so I only the air in my room is trying to kill me. I'm not fun. So I only nod. Without another word, my parents walk away. Wow, I am not having a good recording night. The air in my room was trying to kill me. Aw, don't be mad. She has to make her own mistakes. I tighten my fist, pace quickening, even though I want to prove everyone who's doubted me wrong. I'm tired of losing for no one's sake but my own. With the sun long set, overhead signs wash the streets in color. I've wandered so far that a walk back to my apartment would take almost half an hour. My renewed drive to practice my craft drives. Wait, what? My craft. Oh, practice my craft. Drives my search for a place to play. Okay, that's a little weird wording. It's not long before I see the words I'm looking for. PC Bang. The amount of foot traffic suggests it's a pretty popular internet cafe. A sign on the front window reads Golden Zone Fire. Though I've only visited them a few times, PC Bangs are one of the things that interests me most about Korea when I first got into StarCraft. God, I'm really sorry that my reading and visual novel lead reading skills aren't up to par today. Because usually I don't make this many mistakes. I swear the next episode will be better. Duking it out for the champion status of a neighborhood cafe is old school cool. Like the type of western where a sheriff defends his turf against upstarts and outlaws. It's an ideal that's a little bit dated these days. Most StarCraft 2 competitions takes place either online or in broadcast studios. I'll admit, I've daydreamed about being born a decade earlier and playing the original esport Brood War during its rise alongside the PC bang. A better time, or so they say online. Now, I can give my perspective of this. I am actually Chinese, and I went to China a few years back. There were a lot of video gaming, like PC gaming cafes, and all they did was play Dota. So, Dota to China is probably the same shit it is to Korea. I mean, StarCraft is to Korea. You know? I trundled up the stairs and passed through the hallway, immediately struck by the size of the place. There has to be at least 80 computers. The crowd is too large for an ordinary evening. There are more people than there are PCs even. I indulge my curiosity on the first person I see. A dark-haired guy observing a match of StarCraft 2 from behind someone's shoulder. Excuse me, is there an event going on? The guy turns and looks at me like I'm speaking something other than Korean. After a brief silence, he responds, "Are you new or something? How have you not heard of an all-out attack?" "Yeah, I'm new. Just asking." He hums and glances away for a moment, though he doesn't apologize. He does fill me in. Golden Zonefire hosts a StarCraft 2 tournament called All Out Attack once a month. It's one of the few places you'll find a decent player outside of an online cup or Star League. Used to be a Brood War tournament, actually. I'm trying to get this guy to be as snarky as possible. I don't think I can do snark. I see. Thanks. Are you here cheering for someone? He only stares in response. The guy walks away with a shake of his head, mumbling something about foreigners. Oh, shit, I right-clicked. The back of his shirt sports the Korean Pro Gamers Association logo. God, I cannot talk. Maybe he's a Brood War fan or something. None of the StarCraft teams under KPGA's regulations compete in anything except the original game, Brood War. Understandably, they don't want to fracture a scene they've worked so hard to build up. Okay, that makes sense. Because that's a big thing when a new game comes out, and it's an esports game. Because you don't want people to play the old one and the new one. You want them all on the same wagon. That's why baseball, football, and all those normal sports are where they're at. You don't change that much, you know? Maybe a rule here or there, but not the whole entire game, you know? And that's lucky for us trying to keep from drowning in a game that's already deep with talent. KPGA players train for unbelievable hours. Well, came here to practice, and now I'm presented with an excellent chance to do so if what that guy said is true. A few stares follow me as I walk forward to put my name on the sign-up list. I must look like a tourist in over my head. I'm definitely not the first foreigner to go abroad for esports, but most come to South Korea only once they have results or fame. Damn, girl. You show 'em who's boss. Kick some ass for me, alright? Well, actually, no, I am you, so, like, let's kick some ass. I'm like the voice inside your head, alright? You're a chick, but the voice inside your head is like a dude. Just deal. After paying for an hour's worth of PC time at the front desk, I settle for a station that has a mouse and keyboard similar to my setup back home. A few minutes later, I join my opponent's game lobby just in time for the start of the first round. His name isn't familiar, so I check his profile to see he's ranked midway through Master League. Not bad for a casual player. He seems eager enough by the rate he's spamming go go in the pregame chat. Right, that's a thing people do. The game gets underway once I confirm that I'm ready. Workers, minerals. Vespine? Vespine? That's how you pronounce it, right? Vespine gas in the command center. I start out every match with only these resources at my disposal. It's my job to turn them into something that can defeat my opponent. So she plays Terran, I believe. Generally, that means I need to build structures capable of training units for my army. Yeah. I read that right. God damn it. My build order determines how my end of the matchup plays out. I believe build order is what you decide to build first and when you decide to build it. It could be wrong. I'm not professional in this stuff. This game, I've opted for a quick Hellion attack. Not only will it offer me a chance to deal some damage to my opponent, but it will allow me to scout. Scouting is when you check out the map and... Actually, you know what? Let's check out the glossary. Let's both learn together, alright? Scouting. The act of revealing, either with a unit's line of sight or scans, remote areas of the map to gain information about the opposing player. See? I'm right. Build order. Shorthand for build order, or the order in which structures and units are created. Yep, I'm right. But it seems I don't have much to worry about. My opponent went for a greedy build order, focusing entirely on his economy instead of his army. Unfortunately for him, the match isn't going to last long enough for that risk to pay off. My Hellions make short work of his single queen and handful of Zerglings. You know, with a Zerg? Wait, that makes no sense. He's playing Zerg, shouldn't he be building up his army first? I don't know since I haven't played the game and I've only seen people play it. With his front line out of the way, I'm free to rush into his mineral line and roast his workers, denying him the resources he needs to muster an army. Facing down a marine reinforcement is not long before my Zerg opponent types out the two letters GG, which symbolizes, the end of the round or the other player giving up. Easy. As soon as the victory screen displays, anxiety floods out of my body. StarCraft is tense. It isn't an exaggeration to say that there's never a moment to relax until a match is over. Bristling with confidence, I get up to check my next opponent. And it's a cell. I draw my lips in a line and let my shoulders slouch. Well, that's the end of this tournament run. Asel is one of the South Korea's strongest Terran players. He's well known for his old school cred, balanced playstyle, and friendly banter. He lost in the round of 8 of last season's VSL, a respectable finish, if not a high-paying one. From what I remember, Asel was a damn good Brood War player. I just called him a Brood Warrior. That sounds damn cool. But he was out of his prime when the sequel hit last year, so it makes sense that he switched. While I'm considering what sort of rush I should do to steal a win, I feel a tap on my shoulder and turn. Huh, so you are a foreigner! And find none other than the man himself standing there. This is a bit surreal, considering I've followed Asel's play for about as long as I've been into StarCraft. Luckily, his nonchalant manner disarmed my surprise.
I think we play next round. I'm Mach. Hey, Taryn.
He misses a beat before regaining his smile, likely surprised that I understood, and then answered him. Yeah, I saw you won your first game. Not bad. Wait, not your first game. Goddamn, that'd be bad. Foreigners aren't an uncommon sight at All Out Attack. Are you a pro gamer? What team are you on?
I don't know if you could call me a pro gamer at this point. And I don't have a team. Trying to find one, though.
I do my best not to look too hopeful, though Asel's blank expression is hard to read either way. He pauses to scratch his cheek before responding. Well, good luck. Don't expect another easy match.
You too. I mean, thanks.
Oh god, kill me. At least he laughed. My stress from before is mostly gone. If I lose, big deal. I'm expected to lose. If I win, hot damn, I beat Excel. I'm still chewing over which cheese I should perform before finally deciding to just play standard. When they say cheese, they mean kind of like... how do I explain it? Kind of trying to do something someone normally does not do. It's kind of a risk reward. Let's look it up in a glossary to see how far I am away from that. Cheese, an unexpected strategy that relies on lack of information to surprise the opponent. Cheese builds typically revolve around an early attack that, if undetected, is more difficult to defend than to execute. Yep, I'm right. Knew it. And standards, standard play. He and I banter back and forth in the pre-game lobby for a bit before the game gets underway. Oh boy, you better do this. Acel, old school Brood War Terran. Plays classic Marine, tank style. Probably about to fucking crush me. I haven't gone up against a player as strong as Acel in a while. There probably wasn't a single person at VSL qualifiers at his level. That only makes a potential victory all the more tantalizing. It's a chance to prove to myself that I've got what it takes. Even if I decide on playing standard, I've still got a decision to make in how to execute my mid-game strategy. This map is well suited for a Hellion attack. I'll have plenty of room to poke around his expansion since it lacks a choke point. Expansion, since, it doesn't show up in glossary, it looks like, is the base that you create after your main base. Just so you guys know. An attack by air might also be a strong option. The distance between our bases is relatively long by land, but it'll take a Banshee less than 5 seconds to travel from mine to his. I'm confident with both styles. It's just a matter of how I want to execute the attack. Also probably known as micro. Oh! Shit! You know what, the air is... what would a pro player be expecting? A pro player probably would expect the Banshees. He probably accounts for the fact that it'd be faster to attack by air and go straight for the base. I'm pretty sure he would set up anti-air. So maybe a hit and run with the Hellions, but that's heavily micromanaged. That's heavily micro, you gotta be good at that. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a hit and run. I produce my Hellions 2 at a time and send my first 4 across the map. Oh no! No! I've done bad. The last match, Acel was watching, so he knows that she creates Hellions early game. Fuck! Oh man! I'm not even playing StarCraft 2 right now, and I am majorly already over my head. It's way over my fucking head. Let's see how this turns out. It takes a few seconds extra to clear out the space between our bases. Confident that I have enough breathing room, I prepare for my first attack. My Hellions make a beeline for his natural expansion worker line. With some decent micro on my part, I managed to secure a few worker kills before ordering a retreat. Hey, they do have the glossary for micro. Awesome! A lesser player might have sacrificed 4 Hellions for more economical damage, but I've practiced this style enough to know that I'll lose map control without them. This game is going insanely well. Though Excel took his expansion before I did, the damage he took puts us on even footing. I follow up with my army of Marines, Marauders, and dropships, the bread and butter of most Terran players. Since I cleared the space between our bases, he's in the dark about the timing of this next attack. There's a solid chance I could do enough damage here to end the game. But just as I arrive at the outskirts of SL's expansion, one of his dropships unloads a handful of Marines to my base. That's going to slow down my ability to reinforce. Whoa, shit. With my focus on the drop in my main, SL rushed into the army I left outside his base while I wasn't paying attention. He's got a concave formation on me. And just like that, my advantage evaporates. Though I managed to stay in the game for a bit longer, SL wisely guards his lead by immediately taking a third base. Soon enough, his economical advantage is reflected in the size of his army. After my blunder, SL's play was airtight. There really wasn't anything for me to do. With a groan, I offer a GG and concede the match.